Welcome to Neat Me Debt Free. My name's Hannah, and this is my space to talk about my family's finances. Today's video isn't a budget with me, but we're going to be talking about my family's savings as they stand now, and what we kind of have going on the horizon, and what some of our goals are going forward. So I'm going to talk about our savings funds and our sinking funds. Sinking funds are a version of savings. So I kind of feel like they're related. So if that's interesting to you, go ahead and stick around. So I'm recording this video in, do we want to call this mid-December? Yeah, thereabouts. So this is our savings as it stands now. We do have a high yield savings account that holds our long-term savings. And so for me, all these categories count as long-term savings goals. I guess some of them could be sinking funds, but in my mind, they are savings. So they are all part of our savings account in Ally. So these are our buckets. Right now, our biggest bucket is the down payment for our new home. So we've been saving aggressively. If you've been following along with my budgets, you've been watching me throw thousands of dollars into savings. And we just started saving for this house in July. So I'm very proud of us putting away the numbers that we have. And I can only imagine if we, I guess we're a little bit more responsible and waited. But this is the right time for us. I'm very confident in that. And I think it will be worth it for us in the end. So you see that the first one is our down payment. I'm going to skip the zero ones right now. I'm just going to talk about the ones that actually have money in them right now. So our car savings account has $1,200 in it. That is the starting, I guess, of our money for if one of our cars was to completely die and we needed to go buy a new car. That is what we have set aside. We save $100 of every month. I know if you've been watching my budgets, I haven't been saving for it. I kind of pulled it in a lump sum once we paid off our debt, just because I didn't want to pay the $100 every month. But we will be going back to $100 a month in 2021. And so you'll be seeing that slowly growing. Vacation fund, same thing. I pulled $1,200 when we went on vacation during the summer, and we took a 1-week break from our house and got an Airbnb and stayed in the Airbnb for a week just for a change of scenery during the summer. It was totally worth it using all our vacation fund. So we'll be building that up again. We don't have any actual vacations planned for this year because of the house purchase, because of what's going on in the world. So we'll go back to $100 a month. So it's currently zero. Oh, I said I wasn't going to talk about the zero ones, but okay, I guess I am. I just want to skip the -1 month because it's a long story. Our emergency fund is currently at $4,000. Obviously, if you've been watching our budgets, I am not a Dave Ramsey purist. So yes, we have $4,000. Our bare bones budget without savings, without allowances and stuff like that, is around just under $4,000. So that's a 1-month emergency fund. Again, that is something we plan on beefing up, and I'll share the details on that in a little bit. Furnishings. Furnishings are stuff for the new house. Obviously not a huge necessity, but definitely something I would like to look into. So it's there as a future goal. Moving expenses. We have $2,000 set aside for moving expenses. That's to get the house cleaned, boxes. We are going to be moving ourselves. We're not moving that far. My husband and his brother are strong and able-bodied. So some of that will also be beer and pizza money for them or whatever they want. So yeah, we have $2,000 set aside for moving. Braces. Neither kid needs braces yet, but definitely going to need it. Already knew before the teeth even came up. And so that is definitely going to be on the horizon. So that is a bucket there, but it is currently at 0. So this is pretty close to what we actually have in our account right now. In the core savings part, so like the non-bucket portion of Ally, I guess it is a bucket in itself. There is some money there waiting to be distributed. But you can see I like nice, even, rounded numbers. So until the core savings gets to, I like 500s or 2500s, I won't move it into a bucket. And really what I've been doing is moving everything into the down payment, because my goal is to exceed what we were quoted that is needed on hand when we need to close on our house. And we definitely will get there, and I'll show you that. Okay, so for the negative months, coming up mid-spring, actually right after we purchase the house, which is like so crazy, there will be a couple months as it stands right now where my income will significantly drop. Now that is subject to change, but I like to plan for the worst case scenario. So there is a couple months where we will not bring in enough money to pay all our bills as they stand. Now I could go into disaster mode and stop all allowances, stop all savings, stop sinking funds, literally just pay what we need for the month. But we don't need to do that. I'm going to prepare for that. And so that's what these for the negative months. So based off of my rough and very conservative calculations, we should need about $3,000 across a couple months. So what my plan is once we transition into the new home and the excess is left, that money will then get transferred into the negative months. There's also some excess, and I'll show you that I will be transferring over. So, don't freak out, guys. We'll be okay. We're going to make it through. And that's how important, budgeting, planning ahead, and all that stuff is. So I'm going to expand this out for you guys. And so you can see my projection. So I have budgeted very tentatively for the whole year. Again, everything is in flux. It's really frustrating to me. I like to be able to see the whole year. I won't. But I do have some really good projections. So January, I'm already able to tentatively see that we will be able to throw another $7,000 towards the down payment. February, we will be able to do another $5,300. Great. Right here in between February and March is when we are supposed to close on the house. So this is going to be the final contribution, and that's it. Well, from February into March, I will still have the income that we've been having all along with a surplus of $4,200. And so that will go into these for the negative months. And like I said, we only need $3,000 based off of my conservative projections. But I am still going to set aside this $6,200 just in case. And then once we make it through those months, roll that money over into our emergency fund. Okay. So you see, I'm just really making sure that we're prepared. Car savings, I already said it's going to be $100. Vacation, it's going to be $100. Furnishing and braces, those are not really that important. So I'm not really going to anticipate anything for right now. Nothing's going to get added into the moving expenses. And again, whatever's left over from moving expenses is going to move either into our furnishings or emergency fund. It just kind of depends on where things are going. And so you can see our projections for the end of the year. So the ending amount that we will have for the house is 31,700, and again, that's conservative. This is the reserves for those negative months. This will boost our car fund up to 2,400. Our vacation fund will hit 1,200. I'm hoping to push our emergency fund up. So between what's left over from those thin months and whatever extra I can squirrel away, I'm hoping to push us up to 12. Like I said, our bare minimum budget before we move was under $4,000. So 4 times 3 is 12. That would give us 3 months of our original budget emergency fund this year. I do need to see several months of our budget in the new house for me to really get a grasp of what our new minimum monthly budget is. And so I'm just going to shoot for 12 by the end of this year. And then maybe around the new year, reevaluate how much more we need to bump it up to get us to that 3 months. Yeah. And then furnishings, moving fund, braces. Yeah. These 3 are kind of like, meh. If we get some money, that would be nice. Or these 2, I mean, this one's just kind of sitting there. It would be nice. I'd really like to get a new couch. There's a couple things that we absolutely need to get, like some bar stools. But those aren't that expensive as long as I control myself. But yeah, so that's our long-term savings goals. Now I'm going to drop us down. You can see there's some stuff hiding down here. Our sinking funds. So sinking funds I've usually done just kind of as a pot where I move $600 into a savings account and then just use it whenever we need it. And I've gotten kind of crazy about it where I've not been tracking it and it's probably not enough. So I've had to cash flow a couple things, which hasn't been that bad right now, considering we're not going anywhere, not doing anything. But as things start to open up, I want to make sure that we're prepared. So for right now, we're going to keep our $600 a month sinking funds, but definitely going to work towards adjusting it and better tracking it. So I used to have like a long list of sinking funds. It was basically anything that didn't get paid every month because I'm super particular how I want the budget to look. I have since eased up, and it's all thanks to you guys, because honestly, being transparent and sharing my numbers has really forced me to be way more disciplined about our budget than I have in the past. So I have whittled down our sinking funds. This is not where I'm finalizing ourselves at, but I'm pretty happy with these categories. So let's talk about them. Christmas is way over. We only pay or spent like $1,500 this month on Christmas, but I do want to make sure I have that money set aside. Birthdays and holidays, like I said, I've never tracked it. So I do need to, start keeping track of it, but I feel like 1,000 is a decent guesstimate. Cars includes our car registration, car insurance, and any maintenance on the car. So that's why it's so high. It's definitely a way over projection, based off of what I did kind of track. But I'd rather be over than under, and I can always, redistribute the funds somewhere else. Home maintenance stuff. Again, that is a guesstimate. And hopefully with our new house, there won't be too much, but there is, some painting that I want to do, and we will need some ceiling fans because summer will be coming and we live in California and it's flipping hot. Clothing, again, guesstimate. But kids are pretty good on clothes. I've been way better since we've turned to minimalism about not overextending their wardrobes. So we'll start there. Hair, I know it seems high, but my husband and son get haircuts every other month. I've gotten a slightly higher maintenance hairstyle where I need to go get toner in my hair. My daughter right now, I still cut her hair. I did cut my husband and son's hair a little bit during what's been going on, but I'm not feeling very confident with my skills, so I just want to make sure we have a budget for it. School could be my husband, it could be the kids. And so my husband is a teacher, and so sometimes he needs things for his classroom, or he wants to buy a hat or a school shirt or something like that. So that is part of the school budget. This is also for the kids, so like school pictures, a yearbook, like class parties, field trips, anything like that. That's where that money goes. Extracurricular, so their dance, even though I do budget for their dance classes in the main budget, this is like for recital fees, costume fees, and then any other extra stuff. So they used to do swimming lessons every summer. They have played sports. My daughter used to do gymnastics on top of her dance classes. She would like to do something like that again. My son, well, he's not really the athlete, but there are some robotics classes we thought he might be interested in. So that's where the extracurricular fund will go into. So that's that. And so normally what I would do is I would take this number, divide it by 12, and that's how much the sinking funds is. Well, this is like almost $900 a month. Right now we're still at $600. So we definitely have to make some adjustments. What I've done, these used to be in a savings account linked with our bank. I have decided to move these to our Ally. We have a second Ally account, and so these will be buckets, making it way easier for me to track and keep track of. And so what I do is sinking funds, I charge on a specific credit card that my husband has access to as well. And so we both use this credit card, and then I pay it off almost right away. And I'm thinking, just so I don't get confused, is I need to have like a set day that I pay it, either once a month, once every 2 weeks, every week on the same day, because I get to the point where I get confused on, did I pay off that thing? Mostly right now it's because it's Christmas and there's a lot more charges going on, but usually it's not really that big a deal. I use it, I pay for it right away from these sinking funds. Anyways, so that's the plan. I think that's it that I wanted to say about these two. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at right now. My kids do have 529s. We do have some retirement accounts, but we are not contributing to any of those right now, especially because of all this transition period. There's also some other transition things that may be going on. My youngest child is going to be starting full-time school in the fall of 21. So I hope to start working full-time, if not getting a full-time job, working more full-time hours. So there could be some income change, and maybe we might start contributing to retirement and education funds again. But as of right now, that's kind of more 2022 thoughts. You can see where I've plotted out for years in the future, just some thoughts as we move forward. So yeah, those are definitely on our mind. I'd like to start a Roth, but again, I hesitate to make any real plans or movements in that way until I see what's happening with the new house. With that said, thank you for sticking around. This was a really long, chatty video. I'm so sorry, but all kinds of exciting things. Love planning, love seeing my money do what I want it to do. So I hope you do too. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy my content. And I'll see you in the next one.